live viewers, and we'll get going.
Okay.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is Douglas Jackson. I'm here at the city offices of the Roanoke Arts Commission, and with me I have Mr. William Penn.
Hello.
And we also have with us via satellite we have Janet Cardy.
And Janet. Hello, everyone.
And we're really happy that you're spending a little bit of time with us tonight as we experiment a little bit. And we're going to see if anybody has trouble logging on to YouTube. We're recording this. We are hoping that this will be the first of a series, and we're trying to. I can keep this off while I'm talking to you, can't I? Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. And we're hoping this is going to be a series where we're working really hard to build a network of artists in the community. There's already a strong group of artists. We feel like we can do more to provide more opportunities and to connect people with each other, and hopefully just do more to make Roanoke an even better place. Let me ask somebody who's out there in Viewerland, just to type something in the chat box, just so that we know that you're there and you can hear us. And we'll watch that, but we'll also, I figure my phone will ring or somebody will say, hey, we're having a hard time. As we get going, I'm going to share a presentation with you, and I'm on the wrong slide, so I'm going to zoom backwards real fast. All right, and we are going to talk a little bit first about what we want to do here. And this series is got some goals behind it. You know, in addition to creating a stronger network, we want to create more opportunities for artists in the community, and that is more successful calls from the Roanoke Arts Commission and from partners, so there are more opportunities to respond to calls, to provide work, and that we can do some collective planning around your goals. And there are 8 sessions, and you know, 8 sounds like a lot. There's actually a lot of information that we want to provide you. I've talked to people recently who've said that they have no idea how public art gets put in place in Roanoke, and that was from artists. And we think that we need to do better than that. So we're gonna try. And we've got 8 sessions, and we're going to tonight give an overview of the Roanoke Arts Commission and Public Art Collection. And then we're going to next week talk about highlights from the collection, then focus on our temporary sculpture strategy, and then see some spotlights on a couple of artists, specifically Ann Glover and her Trojan dog, and then David Sheldon's Guidance Tower. And after that, we're going to really focus on what it takes to get art put in place. Everything from the call all the way down to the installation. And then we'll talk about insurance and contracting for public artists. And we'll talk about strategies for submission for an upcoming call. We have a call coming up this year, and we really want to get a lot of local artists responding to it. So that's the overview. And Janet just made it type something in. Okay, sorry. And that's how easily distractible I am. And tonight first we ask you some questions in our registration, and I've got those responses. We want to talk about the Arts Commission, the Public Art Program, and then this year's work plan. And then we'll end with any potential questions. And if we don't have any questions, we'll just wrap it up, and we'll post this online, and so people who weren't here tonight can watch it later. So we asked you a question. We said, what information or question would you like to explore with other artists in the region? And you responded, opportunities for cross-genre collaboration, how we can bring more public art to Northwest Roanoke, how we can transform city parks to be friendly habitats for people and animals. I'm trying to expand beyond my area. And they're really just here and ready to listen. Crafting a language, the philosophy, story, symbolism behind our art that makes a picture worth 1,000 words. I live in Northwest Roanoke. I'd like to see more art over here. Taking visually accurate photographs of work to be submitted. Where do you find meaningful connection with other artists in the area? Nothing comes to mind, I'll ponder it. How are artists continuing to practice during a COVID world? Street performers and a strategy, support for outside individual artists like buskers, artistic acts to be part of the area's attraction for visitors and tourism and events. So, making it feel like a festival around here with individual artists. How to get artwork displayed in various places around the city. Yeah, do we have a list of where all you can get your art displayed? Exhibition venues in the region. I would like to talk about affordable studio spaces for artists in Roanoke. I would like Roanoke City to have a space just for artists, one building that wouldn't be in the basement, where artists could rent their studios and create galleries like Torpedo Factory in Alexandria. What are your best tips for learning about calls and getting works accepted? And someone asked specifically about acrylic painting. An artist's message to the audience, awareness of producing positivity or depravity. How does your art affect people? Marketing. Is there a directory of artists in the Commonwealth or in Roanoke that is accessible to the general public? We do have a listing, and I'll post that for you as well. Would the Taubman Museum be a source? Ways to connect and collaborate with creatives in the Valley. And none come to mind. I'm interested in meeting people and learning. The best part about these typically are, getting a chance to be in a space together. We can't do that right now, but this is a holdover or a way to tide us over until we can. And then, does your spirituality affect your creative vision? If so, how? Creating an effective and individual online presence that pairs with gallery experience. So those are just some of the things that you said. And we're not going to get to all of those in this first session, but we think this series is a way to set a foundation for a long time to come, over the next few years, really addressing some of these things and creating a space where you can get together and address them together. All right, with that, I want to turn it over to Mr. William Penn, a long-term Roanoke Arts Commission member.
Good evening. My name is William Penn, and I am serving my second full term on the Roanoke Arts Commission. I've had a lot of wonderful experiences since I've been on this commission. I've learned things that I really didn't know about visual arts, such as what goes well in public and where it goes. And I'm really proud to say that the Roanoke arts community has grown and it seems very strong, and I like to see that. And got involved with the funding process while I'm on this commission. And that's interesting because a lot of people don't know the detailed work that goes into doing funding. So I'm learning a lot, and the experience has been just terrifically great. And on that being said, I'm going to talk about the Roanoke Arts Commission. It was founded in 1983. We have 15 appointed volunteer members, and they serve a 3-year period, and it begins in July. They can serve no longer than 3 consecutive terms. And we had a part-time staff person from 2008 to 2019. Her name was Susan Jennings. And now we have a new replacement for her. His name is Doug Jackson, and he's doing a great, great job. And this is truly a fun group to work with. Now, we focus on 4 areas on the Roanoke Arts Commission, and that's art advocacy. That means we support all the arts in Roanoke City. We have public art collection, art and cultural funding, and art and cultural planning. And on this commission, we have 4 committees, and they are just like really strong in what they do, and we all sort of work together to make this a really cohesive commission. The first committee is a collection committee, and I'm going to give you all 4 of them that we talk about them. The second one is the funding committee, and we call that the RAC committee, the planning and evaluation committee, and we now have a new committee called the placement marketing committee. Now I'm on the collection committee, and this is what we will focus on in this series. This committee, we help organizations write their call for the artists. We help with the budget. Then we narrow down to the selection of the artists that they want to use. And we also help with the maintenance. And later on, Janet can tell you what else we do. Then we go to our funding. That's the AFAC committee. And this funding committee recommends program funding to the city council. And we're currently overlooking the city's CARE Act funding for the arts and culture. And this is wonderful because during the pandemic, a lot of artists and art museums have lost money. So we're trying to make sure that they can stay in existence. And this is a very wonderful thing to do for them. And I hope I'm not going too fast. If I am, send me a note. All right? This programmatic funding, the AFAC, funds performing and visual arts in the community, as well as humanitarian and cultural access. If you look on your screen there, we have the Free Roanoke Symphony in the corner, your far right, far left, I'm sorry, and then Wood Park. And that's with the symphony and the collaboration with other venues around Roanoke City. Also, we have a collaboration performance between the Opera Roanoke and Southwest Ballet, and that's actually beautiful to watch. And we have Art to the Rescue, and that's, we featured the work by Catherine Devine with the Mill Mountain Zoo. And right now we're working with the Tolman Museum with the Dorothy Gillespie exhibit. And with that, the Artemis magazine, which we also help fund, is a magazine for writers and artists in the region, and they're celebrating Ms. Gillespie's work. And they do an online launch, I think Sunday at 2 p.m., is that correct?
That's right.
And this year, the City of Roanoke and the Artemis magazine is the year of light, color, and motion. And it's in honor of the late Ms. Gillespie's centenary. All right, we can move right along here, okay? And now we go to our newest committee, and that's the Placemaker Committee. This committee, it takes on projects such as community-driven projects, artist leads, and they focus on engagement and other community goals. And if you get a chance, you can see what they really do. If you go to the arches under the Memorial Bridge on Memorial Avenue, they're doing a project down there with the Roanoke Children's Theater. They put out a call for artists, and they gave the goals. And Polly Branch.
That's right, yep.
And Keel.
Daniel
Keel. They answered the call to the team, and their work is absolutely magnificent. And the Roanoke Children's Theater is now called the Virginia Children's Theater. They do a performance on a book, and it's about racial mixing or racism and welcoming. And this happens every Saturday, the next 3 Saturdays at 11 o'clock in the morning. I went last week, and it was absolutely fabulous to watch. And we had about 75 people show up for it. So let's get that around the community. I think they'll enjoy it. And now our last committee is the Planning and Evaluation Committee. And they sit and they track what we're doing, our goals, and make sure that we stay on track for the commission as well as the community. And they're following the current plan that the city of Roanoke worked out for us in 2012. And we're proud to say that we've done about 80% of that goal in that plan. And they lead us in the development of the art and cultural plan. And I really think they do a great job. And they plan on the building blocks that are in that plan. And we'll let somebody else tell you about that building plan, okay?
All right. Thanks, William. That was terrific. Oh, just lost my cord.
Are you still on?
Yeah. All right. And okay, I'll find my way over here at some point. Well, hey, and thank you for spending. I said thank you for spending some time with us tonight, but you're really helping us with an experiment, and we are really trying to learn by doing and try and do some new and creative things, and we're learning how to do this together. And I am stoked that we've got, you've met Janet already, and you met William, and let me now see if I can't introduce you. Let me just figure out how to do it. It's going to say Janet on there, but I'm going to try and pull up Laura Katz. Let me see if I can figure out how I'm supposed. I've got too many things to do here. I need a producer like Roz on what's that show? Frasier. And yeah, she was good. Okay, so there. Now you can maybe. Let's see. I got to move it up a little bit. All right, there. Yeah. So, and can you say anything?
Hey!
All right. And Laura Katz is on the collections committee. And Laura, how many years have you been on the Arts Commission?
I think 5.
Yeah. Terrific. Oh, you might have been on there longer than that. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. But
It's my second term, I think.
Yeah, and Laura's an architect and provides a good architect's eye for us on projects, and that's really valuable to have. Yeah, so thanks for being here, Laura.
Thanks. And I'm on the planning commission, too.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So if you need a friend on the planning commission, right there she is. All right. All right. Okay, I'm back. And what I want to talk about now is that planning aspect of the Arts Commission. And we have an arts and cultural plan that we did in 2012, and that's a really powerful thing for the community. The building blocks, a vibrant regional economy is one piece of it, and we want to be really clear about the role that the arts sector has in our community. And it's been really clear during the COVID crisis, as you close the doors on our performing venues and our galleries and such, what's happening. And you see people make a night of going downtown, and it's a system at work. They go eat dinner. If they're not coming down to the venues, they're not going into the restaurants as well. So that's one piece of what we focus on. And it's part of that is tourism. And we do think about the role of our public art as a tourism attraction as well. And when we talk about tourism attraction, it always is, additional attraction as well. Are we attracting new residents? Are we attracting businesses? Are we attracting investment? And the quality of life and the role of the arts in that is a big piece of the arts and cultural plan. And that arts and cultural plan is created by all of us together And another thing that was important when people came together was engaged neighborhoods in a livable community. And those engaged neighborhoods, we heard in your responses, Northwest. We want more art in Northwest. And the placemaking committee, that's our focus. Okay, how do we get art in the neighborhoods? How do we make the art of the neighborhoods? How do we use the art as a way to engage people even more in where they live and feel part of the community, feel part of the government in Roanoke and the city of Roanoke? So that's another piece of the cultural plan. And bringing artists together with change makers, with the neighbors, that is a key piece of this. And we hope that you'll be partners with us as we do that. The third building block is education and lifelong learning. And when we think about education, we think about young people, and a lot of the a lot of the funds through the Roanoke Arts Commission does go to support programming for young people, but also supports programming for adults. And we see our organizations doing really creative work now around wellness with seniors. And we think that's a real growth area. But all of these pieces of the arts and cultural plan feed into and drive what we do, whether it's in public art or in the funding or in our advocacy. And so the plan is really important. And the question is, now that that plan was done in 2012, what's next for us? And it is time to bring everybody together again, either the spring or next fall. COVID's kind of pushed some things back, but we have a lot of people we can pull together, even if we have to start doing it electronically and doing it different ways to get input. There's nothing like getting everybody in the room together and saying, what projects are important to you? What values are important to you? What can we do with the resources we have? What are those resources that we have? And we have those conversations, we can really do more with what we've got already. And there's a comprehensive plan about to come out, and there is one key piece of that for us, and it's the livable built environment, which is a theme in the plan. And it says right there, there are 38 arts and cultural organizations. We've got 4 museums. We've got 12 heritage and historic places. In the comprehensive plan, the city says, yes, we want to do more with that. And it's up to us to help the city figure out what doing more with that looks like. Additionally, there's a theme, interwoven equity, and that's critical to us right now. I think we got to see what, when we worked with the Urban Arts Project, terrific group of young leaders who wanted to do the End Racism Now mural. I think the city really felt what that felt like, to give space and voice, kind of really, literally turn over space and let that be painted on the street in partnership with them. And I think it felt good to the city, and there are a lot of projects that we can do like that. So the question isn't making investment equal around the city, but where do we need to do more investment right now with an equity focus? And I love that we had a couple people say, yeah, we need more art in Northwest. That's looking at it with an equity lens. So I won't beat that too much, but I mentioned public art before and how that drives public art. I will step back a little bit and say, how did our public art program get to be here, and what is it? How's it structured? Well, there was a plan around 2006, Art for Everyone, and that came after a lot of advocacy on the part of leaders at that time who said we need a strong public art program, and they built a plan and got through council approval, and then said, okay, how are we going to fund that? And a percent for art is a way that many communities fund arts. And so that's 1% of most capital projects in the city goes to public art. Now, if the city's not building a whole lot, we're not going to get as much money, but if there's some construction projects happening, say the 811-911 center, the fire station number 7 that's happening now in Grandin, the Melrose Library, projects like that provide money for public art. And the public art can go into that building, but it doesn't have to necessarily. So we have 160 works right now. Those are both exterior works that you see as you're driving around town, and works that you might be really familiar with. And there are also interior two-dimensional works. And those two-dimensional works are throughout city buildings, in public spaces in the city buildings. So we're sitting in a conference room right now, and there's a piece from the public art collection behind me, because this is a publicly accessible space. An individual office like my office can't have any public art in it because it's not accessible. And then the collections committee recommends commissions, they recommend purchases, they recommend acceptance of the work, and they interpret and promote the collection, they rotate the collection, and they decommission work when that's necessary. And so the picture there is, there's Janet and Megan and Scott, who used to be on the commission, on site, exploring what was going to be possible for sculpture at the 811-911 center. So the collections committee works with partners in figuring out these strategies. And then we're going to hear more. We're going to hear a lot more about public art in a later session. So we're only going yay deep right now, and we'll get up to our hips or so a little bit in a later session. And one more thing is our public art work plan. And that has to go before council each August. And everything we do is a recommendation to council, and then council approves it. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Janet to talk about this year's plan. And but I have to do my work. I have to get it all ready. And then I think there's a way to. Okay, you're going to get a little bit of me and Laura there. You'll get a little bit of Brady Bunch action here. And Laura is looking up at Janet. Okay. All right. I told you this would be fun.
Okay. Are we ready?
I think we're ready. Yep, we've got it on the screen.
Okay, everyone. Hi, I'm Janet Carty. I have been on the Roanoke Arts Commission since November of 2017. I came on to fill a vacancy made by Amy Moorfield, who left very big footprints for me to try to fill. And I am currently serving as the chair of the collections committee and learning a lot as I go along. It's kind of how it works, and it's a fascinating project. This year's plan, of course, COVID just turned everything on its ear, and so several things that we had in process had to be pushed forward. For instance, we have four projects that all got moved forward that we're trying to wrap up now or into the spring. So we had a project with the South Roanoke E-Branch Library. It was a partnership with that neighborhood association with the library. They wanted to work with the elementary school kids to create art that would wrap around the E-Branch. That's in process. And that's in the Crystal Springs area. The stormwater inlet art, you may have seen as you drive around town, those wonderful artist renderings on the stormwater inlets. And this is a partnership also with Roanoke Stormwater Inlet, the Stormwater Department. William mentioned the Arches project under the Memorial Bridge. That was mostly funded by an NEA grant, Doug, isn't that correct? And in partnership with Parks and Rec Department and Star City Read Book Giveaway, that has been unfolding in a beautiful way. I'm so excited to see that really happening this month. So next 3 Saturdays, got to go there. And then there's also the Rider by Bus and the Art by Bus, which is in partnership with Valley Metro and the Ride Solutions. And you may have seen the buses driving through town that have the art on the side. And that's all work that's from the city's collection. So that project is morphing a little bit. Last year, for the first time, we actually commissioned original works for that instead of just reproducing work. So that's something that I hope we can continue to do moving into the future. But we also, in the Rider by Bus, they are chosen, they take rides on the bus and they write and they have a chapbook printed. But this year with COVID, it was just a little bit, we didn't want to risk anybody's health with all of this issue, so it got postponed. Okay, we're also working on maintenance. You may be familiar with the Sister City sculptures that are down in Century Plaza downtown, just off of Kirk. It's Kirk, isn't it? That they really needed to be cleaned and maybe a few repairs done. We have that underway right now. We're hoping to get started very soon. And we're revisiting a maintenance plan for the larger exterior marble and bronze sculptures. So we're looking at what we need to do to get a maintenance plan in process and in place. And then for this year, the new stuff, the new elements that are coming up. The Elmwood Art Walk Call. If you haven't been down to the Elmwood Art Walk, please go. It's beautiful, just wonderful temporary exhibition of sculptures by both area artists and national artists. That call happens in the spring, yes? We're going to do that in the spring, Doug?
That's right.
Is that right?
Yep.
Right, okay. And we're really, really hoping through this series to encourage local artists to have a bigger participation in that and a bigger number of pieces from regional and local artists. So there's the Art on Site Fund, which is a plan to create more murals and other art projects on private property that's facing the public. And in this plan, the Arts Commission will pay for a third of the cost of the mural. A business or neighborhood association could pay for a third, and then the property owner could pay for a third. It's one of the ways that we're hoping to really bring more art, more murals into the neighborhoods. And then finally, we're also working on purchasing, it's a real commitment of ours, to purchase more 2D work by artists of color in the region. We really want to diversify the collection and to really represent all of the artists we have in the Valley, some very talented people. So those are our plans. And next week, we're going to go into depth on what the collection is all about and what we hope to build on. So I won't go too deep into that now, but I'm sending it back to Doug. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Janet. That was terrific. And let's see. And I'm gonna do a couple of take my mask off. And I'm gonna look at YouTube. Oh, Jane, hey, thanks for being here, Jane. I met Jane. Well, I had heard her name many times, but got to meet her the other Sunday at the mural dedication at Humble Hustle, Bryce Cobb's mural of Nipsey Hussle, which I think is spectacular, and that's what we want to see more of happening. And it doesn't take that much, really, when you think about it, to get a mural put up on private property. That project that Janet just talked about a minute ago, that's one way we think we can kind of spark some of that. Even getting like if an artist says, hey, there's a program, your wall would be terrific for a mural. And then if the person who owns the wall says, well, yeah, I could put a little bit of money into it. And the business association or the neighborhood association says, yeah, we can rally some. Then that really becomes possible pretty quickly. And I feel like that's part of our job, is kind of catalyzing support and making things happen a little faster. So Jane, thanks for being here with us tonight. And I bet you've got some great projects up your sleeve. And those projects can be big, they can be small, they don't have to be real big. And if you look at our budget coming up, we had $20,000 we added into the from the Percent for Art Fund this year, which isn't a whole lot of money for a whole year. But you heard about so many partnerships that Janet just talked about. And I've had artists lately say, hey, I just kind of want to do something. It's not going to cost me a lot to do it. It might cost the paint, and we want artists to be paid. But I think where there's a will, there's a way. When the project's the right project, we'll find a way to do it. And so thanks for saying hi, Jane. All right, and then now, let's see. Here's a question for you, for everybody to think about. And this is, we can think about this too, Laura, Janet, and William. What emotion, feeling, or idea does the concept of public art in Roanoke evoke in you? And we're going to send this question out to everybody who registered for the series as well, and just hear what people say. And that's how we're going to start our next conversation, is with a look at that question. What emotion, feeling, or idea does the concept of public art, just the thought of public art in Roanoke, what does it bring to mind? And we're just about to wrap up, but before we wrap up, I want to pull back. Let's see. And I'm going to get all of this on the screen, and just let me check in with you all. We went through that presentation in a good pace. Janet, William, Laura, do you have any thoughts of anything we should emphasize, or anything that might be clearer?
I really want to emphasize how much we depend on the input of artists in all of our processes, and all the panels, the community panels, the neighborhood panels that come together to choose the art that goes into the public arena. But I've been talking it up with artists I know, that I want more artists to come on to the committee too. And I know we've been looking at ways to enable that. It's such a vibrant and exciting experience to be able to help guide this whole public art plan in Roanoke. I'm just very proud of what the commission does, but it can always be better and always be more. So really hope artists will step up and be excited by working with us. So.
And you don't have to be a member of the commission to work with the committee.
That's
right.
That's right. And so Jane, I just posted in there a link to where to apply to be on the commission. Now, there are no vacancies right now for the commission, but we'd like to get people who are interested to go ahead and put in an application so that it's in the queue. And I think they keep it like up to a year or so. So you have to go back and check it again later. But with the committees, we've been approved to bring on committee members who want to learn about the commission to work on, say, the collections committee, for instance, which is a great opportunity. And if anyone's interested, just give me a holler, and we'll figure out a good way to get you involved. I got involved with this Arts Commission, 13 years ago, and couldn't quite let go of it. Because it's a fun group, and we're doing good things. And look at these people who are willing to hop on this and do a presentation tonight, when no one has time to make this perfect. But that's not the idea of it. And we don't need to make things perfect. We need to roll our sleeves up and try and do good work. And when we do, the resources we need, it's all going to come together. So I've just posted that link in the chat box. I'm going to post another link too. This link is for any artist in the region can be listed on the Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge Artist Directory. And it's free. The city, like if you live in the city of Roanoke, the city pays for this to happen. You know, they pay the fee for us to be part of Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge. And when we lost the Arts Council a few years ago, we the Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge, took this on. They didn't want it to fall away. So you can go on there and fill out everything. You can have links to your web page. You can show pictures of your work. You can, and people have gotten commissions this way and sold pieces. So we recommend everybody do that as well. And then somebody just posted something in chat. I've got, let's see. Oh no, I don't think so. Okay. And then let me see what other goodies I've got here. I've got the one final thing is that if you want to get other people involved in these conversations, you can also send them the link and have them register for the series. We're going to have this, of course, available on YouTube. People can go back and watch it, but we also want to get people to register so that we have your information, so that when we do a call, that we put you on our newsletter list. We don't want to necessarily rely just on YouTube or Facebook or the social media. We want to get your contact information and include you as part of the family. And this applies, you know, we've had people register from Blacksburg, from Floyd. We consider this for regional artists. When we do a call for artists, we want we want regional artists. Yes, you don't have to live just in the city of Roanoke. So please, by all means, pass this along to your friends who might not be. There, I'm back. Pass it along to your friends. I'm not sure what I was showing a minute ago. But pass it along to your friends, so that link's there as well. And I'm going to do one final check on our text or chat box and see if anybody has anything else. And I don't see so. We want to thank you all for spending some time with us tonight. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week, where we talk about the collection, the city collection of public art in the city of Roanoke. And with that, we'll say goodbye.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining us.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.